Well, you're obviously a high school sports fan because this is the Prep Zone, and that's pretty much why you're watching. Nick Ashew here, Nick Eilerson of the Post, Marcus Helton of DMV Elite. Those guys are the experts. Those are the guys that we're going to lean on, who've been to all the different games, seen all the different high school basketball games that you could ever imagine. We've covered it all so far this week, and this is basically the place that you're going to want to be to get all the highlights, the recaps. We'll get into predictions as well for games coming up. Everything here in the DMV high school sports. This is the show that you want to be a part of. We're going to get all that soon. Of course, you can check out the show on DMVSTREAM.COM. It's on demand anytime, which is great because you may be up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you want to take a look at it. If you do, DMVSTREAM.COM is a place to be. Channel 10, of course, Thursday, Saturday, twice on Saturday, which is always a good thing, 6:30 in the morning for the morning people. Also, 6:30 p.m. as well. Red Apple 21. I mean, it's all over the place, which is great. Plenty of options for you anytime you want to watch this 2, 3, or 4 times because it'll make you smart. Gonzaga and St. John's, we'll go over that. Lake Braddock game as well. Gentlemen, more than enough to go over today, which is we're jam-packed, which is always a good thing. First, we do want to take a look behind the scenes, though, of Georgetown football broadcast.
It's not easy to do. Either roll to your right is right.
Down 3, ready to come out to 4. 1, and out to 4.
For men, Daniel Joe could go down with a right ankle injury. He kind of limped.
Flat, hold down. It'll be Brady to Joe Jordan.
It's a terrible thing. Yeah, you did the pass rush. They had to run the ball a ton. They had 69 receptions a year ago, and averages, was unable to drag that foot. One of these tackles for loss, guy who will be around now, and then this game tonight, they want to head back to Poughkeepsie at 500 as well. Yeah, absolutely. You got to be fundamentally sound when this defense gets out there. They just got to do it.
You're obviously a guy, a ball hawk back to.
It was a major point of emphasis for us, and also we need to be a better third down situation.
Spread. And there's finally a handoff.
Calhoun's going to get to the
All right, welcome back. DMVStream.com, one of the places, of course, you could be watching the Prep Zone. Marcus, you were at the St. John's Gonzaga game. Let's get right into it. You were there. You covered this. What'd you see? What'd you like?
Well, it was another big-time WCAC matchup. It seems like there's multiple ones of those every single week. This one, St. John's pulled away, beat Gonzaga in overtime 75-72. As you can tell, there's a lot of hype going into this one. You can just look at the crowd and standing room only judge the atmosphere there. Going into the game, everyone was talking about the guard matchups. The St. John's has 3 guys who are going to be playing D1 basketball next year, led by Anthony Cowan, who's going to Maryland. They've got Jeff Doughton, who's going to Rhode Island, and DeJuan Clayton, who's going to Coppin State. And they're going up against the Gonzaga backcourt that, they haven't committed yet, but 2 of the top-ranked players in the area, and Chris Likes and Prentice Hub, and they all put on a show. By Anthony Cowan ended up with 29 points. 11 of those came in the overtime, so he came up clutch. I know the Maryland guys were really excited about that. They'll be getting a good one next year. Just a great game. Came down to the wire as everybody expected it to.
Sometimes I watch these guys, these high school kids, and I'm like, I wish I could fly like that.
Right.
Sometimes you just watch these highlights, and you're like, you know what? It just makes me jealous sometimes. You watch them, and you're like, these kids are 16, 17 years old, and they are way more athletic than me. I'm getting old. Maybe it just makes you feel old. I don't know. Sometimes that's the case. So Nick, of course, we'll get to you in a second with the Lake Braddock game as well. But yeah, you see Anthony Cowan right there, and it's 29 points, 14 of 18 from the free throw line, 11 in overtime. And see, that's the big thing too. When you get into a game that's like overtime like that, you got a guy that can step up, score you points, take over a game like that. You really can't ask for more.
Right.
You can't ask for much more than that. All right, Nick, you were at the Lake Braddock game.
Yeah.
As for you, what did you see?
Yeah, about a week and a half ago, Champ and Lake Braddock, not quite as high-flying as St. John's and Gonzaga, but a couple good public schools. You got a surprise team in Champ, up and coming, a 4th-year Loudon school. They've come a long way in a short time. Went up against Lake Braddock in the Glory Days Tournament Championship game and took it to them in the second half, kind of pulled away after a close first half. So Champ had a, Koing Dang really came out strong in this one. He kind of
right, which is that was good.
Yeah, I stumbled about that one. I almost
good.
messed it up, but it's Koing. He corrected me on it. It's tricky.
Oh, did he?
But he's a good player, man. He really broke out in this game. 32 points, 12 boards, 6 blocks for Koing. Champ really played the right strategy on defense. They let James Butler, Lake Braddock's big, do his thing. James he had 35 points, 12 rebounds, his usual outing. But they really shut down the Lake Braddock backcourt. And Koing didn't really play James one-on-one down low to stay out of foul trouble. He kind of played help side defense and helped out with a couple other Champ big men.
Was that a strategy they were kind of doing to go in?
Yeah, so that's how he's able to get 6 blocks. He's kind of shifting over and playing help side defense to get his blocks and his boards that way. But what a game for him. Such an athletic player. Alongside Zach Burdick, they're 2 football players. Those teammates are so athletic. They run the floor so well. Koing is 6'6", but he runs the floor like a guard, like a 100-meter sprinter, really. I mean, the guy just gets down the floor so fast, and even quicker is Zach, his teammate. So when they get out in transition, it's very dangerous. A very athletic team. Very impressive performance for Champ, winning by 10 points, handing Lake Braddock their first loss this season.
32, 12, and 6. That's a nice stat line.
Yeah,
if there was fantasy high school basketball, you'd be pretty happy with that he played. That's for sure. All right, we want to take a look at one of the area's top recruits. On top of that, also the DMVSTREAM.com Play of the Week. Nick Ashew here with the DMVSTREAM.com Play of the Week, and it comes to us from Georgetown Prep. Sophomore guard Mesioforum banking in the game-winning 3 at the buzzer gives the Little Hoyas the dramatic 57-56 win over the Good Counsel Falcons. Now, if you want to see your Player of the Week shown on the show, just tweet us at DMVSTREAM.
It definitely is, I would say, the best conference in the nation. First-hand experience. First I would say, first half of the season, it was physical, and I was struggling for a little bit. I wasn't used to playing that fast, that physical, that style of play. I had to, day in and day out, I couldn't really take a day off, but it made me that much better. And I feel like I definitely got a lot better. I wouldn't change it for the world. I feel like this year I'm definitely I feel like I'm gonna have a big year. I think it's gonna be a good year for me, having the year I had last year, having that experience under my belt. So I have a chance to lead this team to, the promised land.
It's like special, because you never know you're going to get played with a guy of his caliber of talent. So you got to take advantage of every moment. Because he kind of draws a lot of attention, so it opens out opportunities for me to make plays and score and show that I can play too. It's kind of good balance of it's like him passing and scoring. Because he's never selfish. He's one of the most unselfish players on the team. And he just likes to get everybody involved. And his main thing is winning. And that carries out through the rest of the team. And me and him being the captains, that kind of after it passes through him, it goes through me, and then it just spreads out the rest of the team.
Total package, I gotta say VJ Kagan is the best total package we've ever had in the program. Days back in Roosevelt with Eddie Basden, Delonte West, Alpha Bangura, Darnell Dotson. We've had some great players come through those back then, and of course being here, Eric Green is probably the biggest name that we've had. He still hasn't even peaked out yet of what he can be, but I would have to say he is the total package, and we're real excited that he's in black and gold.
Markel's a great player. He's just seeing people always say how he went from freshman to JV. I don't care about none of that. He's a great player right now. He definitely pushes me, and he motivates me to work that much hard every day. Him being the reigning WCAC Player of the Year, and them getting so deep in the tournament last year, and seeing that we didn't, we fell short. It's definitely motivation for me to, push and work that much hard every day. I'm not necessarily coming out and saying, I'm going to score this much every game. I'm just focusing on being more aggressive, period. In general, offensively, defensively, being more aggressive on the rebounds. Just focusing more on anything I can do to help this team win. I have a big role this year. So if that means scoring, that many points a game, then I'll definitely do it. But I'm just focusing on being more aggressive this year.
You can purchase a copy of this video at DMVSTREAM.com. That's DMVSTREAM.com. Thanks for watching.
Glad you stuck around inside the prep zone here. We didn't scare you off, so I guess that's a good thing. Christian, Middleburg. Marcus, you saw that game. That was a nice Capital Beltway matchup, wasn't it?
Yes. This is the first time. This is Middleburg's first year in the Capital Beltway League, so this is the first time they'd made the trip to National Christian, their first game playing as league opponents, and it was a good one. It came down to the fourth quarter is really where National Christian kind of put this away, led by Muhammad Kabir, Citadel commit. He had 20 points and 20 rebounds. That's a nice little double-double. Pulled away late here, but Middleburg showed that they can hang with all the teams in the Capital Beltway. They came out here, they shoot well, they're long, they're athletic, so having him in this league is going to be a nice addition. Christian Matthews headed to Georgia Tech. He had 17 points for National Christian. One of the highlights of the year so far. He had a nice little poster dunk on a Middleburg player. Just a nice game. These two teams should be standing at the top of the Capital Beltway towards the end of the league.
A lot of guys getting out in the fast break, if you notice when you watch the highlights too. It's a lot of guys getting out, high-flying
Yeah, that's
teams.
the one.
I mentioned it before. It's like we watch them and these kids can fly. It's that's one of the great things about watching some of these really good recruits, even or just these talented kids, even at 16, 17, 18 years old. It's like the things that they can do. It's something else. 20 and 20
rebounds.
Yeah.
That takes effort. That takes a lot of effort. And I think any coach would like to have a guy that's going to go out there and get you 20 rebounds for that. Nick, the Bulldog Bash Championship is also another event you got to check out.
Yeah, Bulldog Bash out in Chantilly was a good one. This was between Westfield and Lansdowne. This was actually a rematch of the state semifinal game last year, which went into triple overtime, the longest state tournament game for Virginia since 1980. It took for absolutely forever. And guess what? They went to overtime again in this one. So, Westfield pulls this one out at home, 82-77. Tyler Scanlon does his thing, 33 points, gets to the line 8 or 9 times. So it's good to see Tyler get into the line like that. You can tell that's kind of a byproduct of his improvement off the dribble. He's a little bit quicker off the bounce. He's a little bit bouncier in general. You can tell he worked on his body in the offseason to get into college shape. He's a Boston University recruit. He's looking really good this year. Just an absolute terror to guard for the public school kids, for most of these teams that they're playing against. So Tyler kind of did his thing, 33 points, and alongside his partner in crime, Blake Francis, those two are they're back from war after going to the state championship and falling just short last year. So they're a team on a mission after the football team finished its run for the state championship.
It's always good when you got a guy that gets to the free throw line for you too.
Yeah,
You can always count on that guy late in the game. Free throws are always an important thing. 33 points, 13 or 17 from the free throw line.
Tyler had a phenomenal football season, helped Westfield get its first state championship in football since 2007. And they really struggled on the basketball court without him, and without a couple other guys too. But once they got those guys back, it's been a completely different Westfield team.
Yeah, you get the athletes; they've got to play every sport, So
exactly.
It's like, hold on, I got to finish up football, then I'll get on the basketball court.
I mean, I watched them lose to Lake Braddock earlier one of the first games of the season, 82-51. It was an absolute blowout. I mean, not even close, and they're just a completely different team with Scanlon and the football guys back. They've won all 7 games since they've come back. And Tyler had 25 last night. That's right on his average for the season in the past 7 games. So it's fun to watch Westfield these days. They're really coming together at the right time when conference play is coming up here.
And maybe we want to get semi to that athletic like those guys. If we want to do that, we can check out Evolution Basketball Training's Alex Harris, who's going to talk about the importance of strength in a season.
Jeremy Huber here with Alex Harris, the co-founder of Evolution Basketball Training. And Alex, talking something now as a former athlete I know is so hard to do, but it's so meaningful to make sure you do it, and that's in-season strength.
Absolutely. As a real basketball player, we know that we have to lift weights out of season. The day and age of basketball players not lifting, not working on strength training is gone. You must be a strong athlete to play this game nowadays. And with that being said, if you go from November to February without continuing to lift weights, your body's going to break down. You're going to lose all the gains that you created in the off season. So one of the things that I'm going to recommend here is just to make sure that you maintain. And we don't want to do anything heavy, we don't want to do anything excessive, but we want to make sure we're maintaining the strength that we built in the off season. A couple suggestions would be make sure we're using foam rollers. Foam rollers are something that's been pretty commonplace nowadays, and so most kids know or have access to them. Using the foam rollers to get the muscles loose and keep them, not cramping up, things like that. Obviously continuing to stretch stretching on a daily basis. We have hard practices every day. We have hard games every day. We got to make sure we're stretching, you know, pretty much every day. Core strength, you know, something that's just been very much a catchphrase over the last few years, and it's something that we got to focus on constantly year-round. It doesn't go away. You got to continue to work on the core strength, and the great thing about core strength is it doesn't put a pounding on your legs. There's no pounding on the legs. It's not going to affect your shot, but it's something you can do 5 minutes before practice, 5 minutes after practice, and that can be something that can be done 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week without affecting your game. And last but not least, it's just general maintenance lifting. Obviously, you don't want to do anything heavy. You don't want to sit there and try to throw on extra weight. You're not a football player in the off season, you're a basketball player in the in season. So doing some light reps, even just push-ups, body weight squats, things such as that. You know, obviously there's a multitude of exercises that can be done, but general maintenance, keeping your body strong, keeping your body healthy while you're in season.
Great advice to make yourself a better basketball player. Thank you so much, Alex.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Welcome back into the Prep Zone. 2 Nicks, 1 Marcus. It's easy to remember. It's not hard. Marcus Helton, you were part of a bunch of events actually over the holidays. DMV Elite was taking on.
Yeah, it's been a busy past week. We were down at our biggest event that we helped out with was the Governor's Challenge down in Salisbury, Maryland, out on the Eastern Shore, December 26th through the 30th. This is the second year we've helped out with it. It's been going on since the 80s, but this is our second year. Last year when we joined up, there were 54 teams, and this year we expanded to 100.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams. There was a lot going on. We had 3 different venues, so it was nice. It was broken up into 2 sessions. So we had a session 1 right after Christmas. This here's some video from the dunk contest. That young man is going to Longwood University next year to play basketball. So, I mean, a lot of action. Like I said, there was 100 teams. We had varsity boys, varsity girls, JV boys, different brackets split over the 2 different sessions. Plenty of teams involved that people would know from here in the DC area. We had, you know, Wise, Riverdale, Theodore Roosevelt, tons of teams. And like I said, as you can tell from the video, there was a lot of really good
everywhere.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I used to be able to jump like that.
The funny thing is like you can watch these dunk contests and even it still awes you, even though you've seen the dunks a million times. Like I still get just excited when you watch a guy just throw down a big dunk, even in a dunk contest.
Definitely, and the energy in the place, you could tell. I mean, that kid, he did a windmill from the free throw line, and everyone in the gym saw him, you know, kind of walk to the other end of the court, and they knew something was going to happen.
An NBA slam dunk contest,
yes.
And now kids are doing it in high school.
This kid's like 16, 17.
Yeah, it's just they're all growing up, aren't they?
Right. And after we came back from this, we had an event up in Hagerstown. Had some DC teams come up for that too. And then on Sunday, the day after, we were at St. Stephen St. Agnes in Alexandria for an event. So like I said, it's been a busy past couple weeks or so, but it's always great seeing some basketball.
How much did you sleep? Did you sleep at all?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Didn't seem like you slept very much. Yeah, that's quite a few things to be a part of. All right, we want to get into the allmetsports.com weekly fast forward. This is the time where we get into our crystal ball and pretend we know exactly what's going to happen when, quite frankly, it's all a total guess. But this is the fun about it. This is the best part. All right, first one up, DeMatha and St. John's. Gentlemen, Mr. Helton, take it away.
Well, this is another big-time WCAC matchup. Like I said earlier, it seems like there's multiple WCAC matchups that are big-time every week. Anthony Cowan coming off 29 points against Gonzaga, leads up St. John's in against DeMatha. Markel Fultz, probably the best player in the area. DJ Harvey, probably the best player in the area for his class, 2017. It's going to be another good one. I went with DeMatha in this one just because they've got the size advantage. They're coming off 2 losses, 2 national losses. They lost to Oak Hill and Montverde. But, you know, here in the area, they're still top dog until someone here in the area beats them.
All right, when we come back, we're going to take a look at the Battlefield Hilton matchup that's coming up. First, though, we're going to take a look behind the scenes of last year's National High School Hoops Festival.
Welcome back to Hyattsville for the Saturday finale of the National High School Hoops Festival as DeMatha welcomes in Chaminade. I'm Jeremy Hubert, joined by Junior Burrow, and again, we've got ourselves what should be a very good game, Junior, as you look at DeMatha and their storied tradition versus Chaminade and the #1 junior recruit in the nation, Jason Tatum.
I tell you what, it's been a long day for us, right? We've been here all day. These are the kind of matchups you want. You have DJ Harvey on one end, you have Jason Tatum on the other end. I mean, you have everything you want. You have dynamic wing players again. cheap game is something we're going to be doing today.
I guess senior is okay.
This team is way more.
That would be number 13, B.J. King, who came over, a transfer from St. Mary's, St. Vincent. That sounds familiar. That's where LeBron James went to school.
I tell you what, Coach Morello just won the lottery, basically. He's a 6'1", a 6'7" wing player that defends the rim, that defends basketball. I mean, he's one of the top 10 players in the country. He's a USA basketball man. I mean, whatever, everything you want in a wing player, this kid has.
Junior, what a remarkable event. I know you've been a part of that to take on Chaminade as this event just continues to grow each year.
Absolutely. Everything's starting to feel like
Festival is Oak Hill.
Able to handle the ball. They turn people over a lot.
It's easy to say, but also have the first off number 23, DJ Harvey, just a sophomore, but so good.
I mean, you're talking about wing players. We've been talking about it all day. He's one of the better. He's athletic. He can shoot the basketball. He has a great demeanor. He knows how to play. Comes from a fantastic family. He transferred from the Alabama area. Really athletic. Everybody wants to see him. Every school in America wants him. Great kid.
Welcome back inside the Prep Zone, the allmetsports.com weekly fast forward. We're going to keep that going. Mr. Eilerson,
yes.
Up next is Battlefield and Hilton.
That's right. These were two of the favorites in the 6A North region coming into the season. Both playing good basketball right now. Hilton got off to a little bit of a rough start this year, but they're starting to come together a little bit. I got a chance to see Battlefield last night. They're really starting to play well. They had a bit of a slow first half against Stonewall Jackson, but used their size to pull away at the end to win by 16 points last night. And it should be a good one this coming Monday. Battlefield, they've got Blake Pagan. He's a senior guard. He's averaging 19.5 points a game and almost 10 rebounds, so he's basically averaging a double-double every night. Really gritty defensive player. He can kind of do it all. He's very unselfish on the offensive end. So it should be interesting to see how Hilton handles him. And a kid who really broke out last night for Battlefield, Shanari Street, had a career-high 28 points against Stonewall. He was just unstoppable. No one could cover him. I mean, when they had a big guy on him, he would just dribble right past them. Displayed a nice array of post moves, of spin moves. Really nice off the bounce. Then when they put a small guy on him, he's too long to guard in the paint. So really nice duo between Blake and Shanari for Battlefield. And with Hilton, there's Blake Pagan right there, just having an excellent season as a senior. They were going to rely on him either way coming into the year, and he hasn't disappointed so far for the Bobcats, the defending Conference 8 champions. But yeah, you've got Hilton. That's a team that brought back all 5 starters from last year.
That helps a lot when you have all your starters around, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're a very senior-laden team. So big expectations for Hilton. They're one of only 2 teams to beat a really good state champion Colonial Forge team last year. So, and they brought back all the guys from last year.
I went to Colonial Forge. That was my high school.
There you go.
There you go.
Go Eagles.
Yeah.
But Hilton took them down, and they brought everybody back. So big expectations for Hilton. And, they haven't quite lived up to their potential. They're not really blowing people out like I thought they would, but that's also a product of just playing some of your bench guys against a few weaker opponents. So shouldn't read into that too much. But I kind of expect them to really start coming together here in January, especially against a good opponent like Battlefield. That's when they really need to start playing good basketball.
When you're playing your bench guys a lot of times, too, I mean, you're also helping develop some of the younger guys and some of the talent, which can also help the program down the road a lot as well, too, right?
Yeah, it should benefit them. But if there's a time to start improving, it's now. So hopefully they're on the right trajectory.
All right, predictions are at the bottom, gentlemen.
Yeah, predictions. So
we have one outlier, the other Nick.
That's right. I'm going to take Hilton. Battlefield's been looking good, but Hilton's got Tylen Crawford. He's really stepping up and exceeding expectations this year, averaging about 17.5 points a game. Jerry Carter hasn't really gotten to live up to his potential quite yet. His points per game average is quite down this year, but a really good 6'4" player, can do it all, can shoot very well from the outside, and is very hard to stop when he's driving it to the rim. So Jerry Carter, Tylen Crawford, Josh Peterson, their point guard, is back from an injury. He fell really hard on a fast break against Potomac in one of the first games of the year. He's been back for the past couple of games, and I think he's really going to start helping this ball team. I think they're going to play their best basketball against Battlefield. So.
All right, Marcus, Merritt and Episcopal. This is our next one up.
Yeah, this game is part of the IAC MAC Challenge, which is a really cool event that they do every year. You know, the WCAC gets a lot of credit, and deservedly so, for being the best private school league in the area. But, you know, the IAC and the MAC have really good talent, too, and this is a good showcase for both those leagues. So they'll be at Bullis this weekend taking part in this. Episcopal's the defending IAC champions, and Murray has long been a power in the MAC. So this should be a great matchup, one of the better matchups of the day, in fact. Led by Luca Garza, Murray, 2017 big man. He's got, you know, a host of Division I offers, and he's having a monster junior year right now. He was hurt a little bit this summer. Had to get surgery to remove some bone spurs in his ankle, and, you know, put on some weight because he couldn't really run. But he's in shape now, and he's just dominating. I mean, the kid's 6'10". He can step outside, knock it down, and in the post, there's really nobody who can bang with him. But, you know, Episcopal's got some guys of their own. Nick Reed, the guard, helped hit the game winner last year to win the IAC championship. Edwin Abube is their big guy inside. It should be a great matchup. Those two teams should definitely be in the running for their respective leagues this year.
It's always nice when you have a guy in your team that is 6'10" that can also step outside and shoot a little bit. How do they use that weapon a lot with him?
They do. They do. I went out to see them earlier this year against Bishop McNamara, a game they won on the road, and, you know, he showed all the assets that he has, you know, all the facets of his offensive game. He's able to step out, hit the three, like I said. He's got nice little hook shot, old school hook shot. Can play on the post. I mean, the kid's a matchup nightmare.
All right, there's our picks. They're at the bottom. That's our crystal ball. We're at least doing our best to pretend that we know what's going to happen. Of course, we won't really know until next week. And if you missed any part of the show, of course, you're tuning in late, whatever it is, tons of ways you can check us out. DMVSTREAM.com, of course, puts it up on demand as well. We'll see you next time.